La 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 la. On the seventh day of Christmas, SamuraiVert gave to me scary Christmas stories. Fall Guys came Fortnite be our live stream. Minecraft survival memes from my camera. Delta and chapters to gameplay and a laid back day of playing GD. Do we really need to say anything at this point?
Hey lads, SamuraiVert here, and today we're going to be reacting to some Christmas horror stories. I thought long and hard what I wanted to do for this day of Christmas, or this day, Flashmas, and this idea hit me like a frisbee. So, without further ado, let's begin. All the videos and the channels will be linked in the description. Please don't copyright me. And let's go. First video is for...
Oh, funk off, YouTube.
First video is a creepy Christmas time story anime by none other than Llama Arts. Let's get it.
It was November of 2006. I was a 16-year-old kid living in the town of Altoona, Iowa. I went to bed early one night because I had to work the early shift at McDonald's. As I slept, I had a dream that I was running through downtown Des Moines, but I wasn't on a jog. I was running from something.
Those dreams are the worst. Those dreams are the worst. Those dreams are the worst. But if it's a lucid dream, you can turn yourself into a freaking titan and destroy him.
As I ran around the corner of a building, I came face to face with my pursuer. A tall man wearing a trench coat and a top hat stood in front of me.
Oh, this guy looks like if E.T. and Willy Wonka had a baby.
The only thing visible of his face was his eyes. They were abnormally large with black pupils, and it looked at me as if it wanted something. After what felt like hours, he reached out his bony hand, as if he...
You posted cringe. You are banned from the server.
wanted me to go with him. I woke up violently from my dream, and after catching my breath, I peered around my room to see if I was safe. As I stood up from my bed, I noticed that I could see my breath. Feeling confused, I checked my window. It was latched shut.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, how unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Uh-oh, how unfortunate. I know how much you like to fight, so I'll add a new problem to your night.
I then walked over and checked my vent. I could still feel warm air coming from it. As I sat back down on my bed, I tried to figure out what exactly was going on.
Bro, your house is haunted.
That's when the figure from my dream appeared at the foot of my bed. I scrambled back to my headboard.
No.
What do you want? I asked, trying to hide the shakiness in my voice. With the same bony finger, it pointed at...
You are banned from the server. Do not ever show your face in this ever again. And don't even think about making alt accounts because I know where you live.
me. Growing up in a religious home, I believed what I was looking at was a demon.
Oh, what? Well, no freaking crap.
I told the creature to leave. It just waved its finger at me, and with a low...
You can't appeal your ban this time. You are banned from the server. IP banned, server banned, all of the bans in the book. You ain't ever coming back after posting cringe.
voice that spoke to me.
Never leave. Always here.
The creature then screamed loudly and disappeared. A feeling of nausea
Who's voicing this dude? Ron Perlman?
came over me and I vomited on my floor. The last thing I remember was cleaning myself up and waking up to my alarm. It's been about a month since I had seen the top hat wearing man in my bedroom. The Christmas season was in full effect. My parents weren't home because they got invited to some kind of event. So it was only me and my 3 sisters at home. I had to wake up early in the morning for work, so I decided to go to sleep. I rested my head on my pillow and closed my eyes. Not even 30 seconds passed until my sisters burst into my room and started singing obnoxious songs. This of course made me very angry, but I thought if I ignored them that they would leave me alone. This was not the case. As I pulled the blankets over my head, I started to feel the same cold feeling that I had in November.
Uh-oh.
As the obnoxious singing subsided, I lowered the blanket below my eyes and saw the man standing in the corner of my room.
I told you not to make an alt account. I warned you. You. Give me your soul.
In one swift motion, he charged towards me, and I blacked out. When I finally came to, I found that my sisters had locked themselves inside the bathroom. As I knocked on the door, they told me to go away. I asked them what happened, and all they could say was Mom and Dad were on their way home.
Oh, dang.
I looked down and saw that my hand was slightly bloody.
Slightly?
Holes were in the bathroom door, and a broom was sticking out of the wall. I then walked into the living room and found that there were knives stuck into the wall
That's not normal.
as well. The same wave of nausea passed over me, just like in November, and I threw up again. As I was cleaning up, my parents walked through the door. My father immediately walked over to me and gave me a good beating.
Wow, what great parents. What great loving and supporting parents.
Then he sent me to my room. I went to bed crying, not from the beating. I was crying because of the confusion. I had no idea what was going on. The next morning, my sisters reluctantly sat next to me and told me what had happened. They said I got angry and chased them down and tried to hurt them. They said my eyes were red to the point where they thought I was bleeding from them.
Holy crap, this is some Boondocks type shit. Some Boondocks type shit. Stink Meaner strikes back. What's my name, Nyong?
Remember me? You don't remember my name? What's my name, nigga?
They said I sounded like a different person.
You are strong, child. But I am beyond strength.
You are strong, child, but I am beyond strength.
In 2011, that was the last time I saw the top hat wearing man.
Good.
I just moved into a new apartment, and after a long, stressful day of unpacking, I took a shower and got ready for bed. As I started to drift off,
Wait, where did my headphone case go? Oh, there. Cheap.
I could feel that cold feeling again. I lifted my head and saw the man standing in front of me.
Did you learn nothing from the last time you posted cringe? Give me your soul.
The man's eyes were red now. With a low voice, just like on that November night, it looked at me and said,
Never leave. Always here.
Holy crap. That That was bone chilling. 10 out of 10. Animation was great. Antagonist was intimidating. Wow. Well, Slum Arts make top-notch horror animations. Great. And the next one is True Christmas Horror Stories Animated. And I know it looks like I've already watched it, but that's not the case. I was just checking to see if I had to do anything in order to react to the video. And I believed it as long as I credit them. Then good. Okay. Let's go.
December had only just arrived when it happened. I was a mere 10 years of age, still naive as to what awaited me in the outside world. Every year, at the start of December, when the snow began to fall and the air froze, my family and I would dash out into the fresh morning snow, spending the entire weekend building snowmen, snow forts, and having snowball fights. But one year, we were met with a ghastly occurrence that forever changed how we saw Christmas. The Friday that came before the first weekend of December, my family and I were all raving about our excitement towards the snow that was to come the next day, and our plans for what we were going to do in it. I went to bed soon after, brimming with anticipation, so much so that I could hardly sleep. I spent that night staring out of my window as a blanket of white covered it, drooling down the glass pane. Throughout the silence, I could make out the extremely faint noise of shuffling coming from outside. Even the mild...
You want to know what you do when you hear that? Who's there? Get out and show yourself. Don't make me ask twice.
Hey! Creepy wizard dude! Change Rigby back and then get out of here! Don't make me ask twice.
That's what you do.
crunching of snow below boots. I wouldn't be surprised if people were already out as the snow fell, lavishing in it before the morning came out. What I found slightly unnerving was that the sound seemed to be coming from my garden. I remember it was at this point that my eyes began to close, and I was quick to fall into a great deep slumber soon after. The next morning I leapt out of bed, throwing open the wardrobe and piling on all the clothes I could find, preparing myself for the adventure outside. I could hear my sister and father doing the same, and I was sure my mother would join us later, after her lion, of course. Once ready, we all hurried down the stairs, bursting into the kitchen, grabbing the set of keys that opened the back door. As the keys twisted, I could already feel the cold gripping onto me. But the as down the stairs, bursting into the kitchen, grabbing the set of keys that opened the back door.
Dude really said.
As the keys twisted, I could already feel the cold gripping onto me. But the adrenaline kept it at bay. The door swung open. There was no snow, only weak little clumps dotted around the drenched grass. I could feel my heart sink, as well as that of my father and sister.
No snow, eh? It's alright. Let's go put on a film instead. I'm sure there'll be more to come later.
My father was extremely
No, hey. See, Canadian? Say Torrance.
optimistic for the circumstance.
Okay. Wow, Scott really hates us, Philip.
Wow, Scott really hates us, Philip. Yes, perhaps he's homophobic. But we're not gay, Philip. We're not?
But as they walked off with weighted steps, it looked like lines, like the snow had been removed systematically. But by who? I didn't think it was worth the trouble to think about, so I closed the door and joined my family for a movie. That night, the same routine played out. I laid in bed, watching as faint drops of snow drizzled from above, severing my vision from the outside world. That night, the same routine played out. Simultaneously, I was able to hear the sound of crunching grow louder and louder from outside. I crept out of my...
Is he stuck in Golden Experience recording wait, what Diavolo? That's not a good fate.
My bed to look out the window, but the snow was too thick to see further than a couple of meters. I went back to bed, crossing my fingers, begging for the snow to remain. I slumped on my winter wear and joined my family as we walked down the stairs. Making our way over to the back door, with a general air of fatigue hanging over us all. Once again, the door creaked open, only to reveal yet again, no snow, only subtle lines in the soaking wet grass. My father said the same thing as before, but I couldn't hear him. I was far too concerned with the lined grass. Dad, why are there lines in the grass?
Probably just from how the snow melted. But cheer up. Another movie day never hurt anyone.
Once again with the optimism. I wasn't entirely convinced, but what else was there?
They're probably stuck in the time loop or something. Cause no way that's normal.
To do. And with that, we all wandered drearily over to the sofa and spent the rest of the day watching movies. Then came the evening. It was pitch black outside when I heard a noise rustling about in the garden. I looked at my family, seeing if any of them heard it. Until all of a sudden, a loud bang hit the window. Alarmed, we all leapt up out of our skins. My sister began to cry, and my mother and father looked frantically at one another, then towards the circle of snow dripping from the window. My father motioned for my mother to grab my sister and move to the back end of the living room. He then made his way over towards the window, searching for the source of the noise. He came closer and closer until his nose was practically up against the window.
Bro, looks like he's about. Bro, he's about to say, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us." Then leave.
Trying to peer out into the thick darkness, his expression dropped. Following me, I peered out the window next to him, and my eyes met with the dark figure outside. I stopped, feeling my blood freezing out of fear. My father beckoned for me to step back, to which I obliged as he opened the window.
Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing? We got kids in here!
Everyone when Twitch made that new stupid rule. Everyone when Twitch made that new stupid rule about artistic nudity. Yeah, that's a really stupid. Like, why? And people at the Twitch HQ was like, let's see, this user literally showed their melons. Wait, how much money does she make us again? Oh, we can circumvent that. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Leave now or I'll call the police!
My dad shouted, waving his phone around. The man just stood there, holding a snowball in his right hand, grinning wildly.
Ugh.
My father closed the window, shutting it tightly, dialing the police as he did so whilst I stared at the man, feeling my eyes welling up with fear. He slowly raised his left hand and pointed a finger. First.
He didn't like and subscribe. Oh, by the way, if you're this far into the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more banger videos like this. Okay, thanks, bye.
Towards me, then towards him. As we waited for the police, the man refused to leave. Instead, he remained standing there, grinning. Eventually, the police entered.
What are you waiting for? The frick off my lawn. Get the frick. It's times like this where you're pulled to get the frick off my lawn 3000.
The house, but by the time they went out, he was gone. My father and I went out there with them, and after an extremely short search, the true horror became clear. Behind the shed, the only thing in the garden was a man-made igloo. This was where the snow had gone. This man had been just meters away from us for the last 2 nights. He may have left for now, but there was no telling what he was waiting here for. What if we had gone out there? Every year since.
Then you'd be.
We checked the entire garden in case he returns. We weren't safe. Christmas is now rotten with fear.
Ooh.
Christmas is usually a time of peace and joy, but sometimes it's a time when the strangest and most horrific things can happen. The story is from when I was a kid.
Oh, forgot to get my thoughts on. First, antagonist was intimidating, but I wasn't really jump scared or anything. You might have been jump scared, but still, you did a good job on it. It doesn't take it. It doesn't really. Don't really have anything negative to say. 8 out of 10.
At that time, I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't run away from home or call the police. At that time, I could only depend on my parents to protect me. And the moment they couldn't do it, I came face to face with death. And almost didn't survive to tell the story. Truth be told, Christmas didn't used to be my favorite holiday. Make no mistake, I enjoyed the presents, the food, and the arrival of Santa Claus. But since my whole family was quite young and my parents had me when they were very
Sounds old enough to be Santa.
young, I was the only.
Why does Grandma built? Why this guy built like an ice cream scoop?
This was really very boring, since the party where the children were supposed to enjoy the most turned into a boring family dinner for adults. After we all gathered at the table to eat, I went to the dining room to play alone. And that's when it all started. At that moment, I thought maybe I had seen too many horror movies, but I could have sworn I saw someone through the window, as if a shadow had run past. I approached the window to get a better look, but I couldn't see anything.
When you wake up at 4 a.m. and then when you wake up at 4 a.m. and look at the clothes on your chair.
I thought maybe it was my imagination. But
That kind of jump scared me. What is bro plotting?
behind the window was a man with a terrifying demon mask. The mask had a huge grin on it. From behind the window, the man tapped on it slowly and pointed to the front door. As a kid, my first impulse was to walk away slowly. The man turned his head in disappointment. After that, he left the window and went in the direction of the front door. A few seconds later, someone started banging on it.
That must be Henry with the beer. I'll go get it.
Dad, don't open it! It's not.
Face is 50% chin. His face is 50% jawline.
Uncle Henry, it's a man in a demon mask!
What are you talking about? Have you lost your mind, Joshua? It's your uncle.
There was just a man at the window with a demon mask. I swear it's not Uncle Henry.
Believe the boy.
Hesitantly, my dad went to the door and looked through the peephole.
Believe the boy.
After doing so, he raised his head and opened the door. My first instinct was to run away, but I stopped when I saw a familiar face. It was my Uncle Henry, just like...
You can't see it, but underneath my face I'm linked it.
like my dad said.
Josh just mistook you for a demon.
I knew I shouldn't have got that haircut.
Dad, I'm serious. There was a
That was funny.
man with a mask in the window.
Josh, I know you're bored, but you can't scare adults like that. You always do that.
I'm serious this time, I swear.
Without listening to me anymore, my dad had gone
They're dead.
They're dead.
back to the kitchen with my uncle to put the beer away. I don't know how much I could blame him for not believing me. As a kid, I used to make up imaginary friends. And that night, my dad was a little too drunk. I was very scared of this man. So I decided to continue playing in my room, going upstairs.
Well, never too early to start using the shotgun. Just kidding, don't get one until you're over 18 and eligible to get a gun license wherever you live. In America, they hand them out like their toys.
Just in case, I locked the door with a chair. I spent a few minutes bored, knowing that at midnight my parents would come to pick me up to watch the fireworks.
Boring, heck.
But I started
Boring, heck. Boring, HE double hockey sticks.
to fall asleep. I didn't think I could stay awake a minute longer.
Josh, come down! It's already midnight. They're shooting fireworks.
From my bedroom window overlooking the courtyard, I could see beautiful fireworks covering the whole sky. I stared out my window. My family was already outside, watching the huge amount of lights in the sky. Suddenly, someone started banging on my door.
Coming!
I was about to
OMG, is that Brain Family guy?
open it when I realized something. I looked out the window again. There's Mom, Dad, the uncles, grandparents. They're all downstairs. Then, who's banging at the door?
Kid, could you open the door for me, please?
HE double hockey sticks to the no. Hell to the no.
I just want to talk.
It's you, the guy with the mask. Get out of here or I'll tell my parents.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk to him.
Oh, you don't want to do that. I'll be very angry.
I'll be very angry. Yeah, but not as angry as me. Not as angry as me when you meet my friend.
Desperate, I opened the window and shouted to my parents.
Dad! Mom! Help! There's someone trying to get in my room!
At that moment, my parents got scared and tried to open the backyard door, but they couldn't do it. It was locked. Someone locked it from the inside. They started kicking it in desperation. Meanwhile, the voice behind me got louder and louder.
Didn't you hear me? I told you I would be angry!
Holy crap, who pissed in this dude's cereal? Are you kidding? If you want to barge in, don't do this. Disclaimer, SamuraiVert does not endorse barging into people's houses. Okay, later.
Get out of here! I'm not opening it!
Oh, come on, Josh.
Relatable.
You like where I'm taking you? It's full of children's corpses you can play with.
No, I'm not going there. I would not like to go there.
Josh, you know what I did to them all?
I wonder what he did to him. What did he do to the... What do you guys think he did to the corpses? A. Showed them all a fun time. B. Jeffrey Dahmer. C. Murdered them. Or D? None of the above. I'll let you take your pick.
Strangled them. I did the same thing I'm going to do to you. I squeezed their necks with
And the answer is C.
my huge hands and watched their lives go.
Holy crap, dude.
Jesus Christ, dude.
While he was saying this, the man with the mask was about to break the door. I saw the begin to break little by little. It wouldn't resist much longer. I looked out the window again. My whole family was still trying to break into the house any way they could. My father grabbed a rock and threw it at the window outside, breaking it. At that
I like the go. For some reason, the glass just floating there. Funny to me. I don't know why.
moment,
Just find random things funny.
the pounding in my room stopped. I looked back at the door. There was no one trying to break it, but someone was still behind it.
You know, Joshua, I've been watching you for weeks. When you get out
Oh no. No.
No, no.
of school, when you hang out at your friend Steven's house, when you go swimming, I could kill you whenever I want. I just wanted to do it at Christmas, to make it special.
No.
Like I did with the other boys.
Well, the man
The other boy? What other boys? You are done.
was talking. I heard my dad come in through the broken window and shout from below.
Josh!
He I'm sorry, but I can't take him seriously. He's doing the flintlock wood. He really running like. He doing the flintlock wood.
Next time I see you, little boy, I'll make sure it's not special. You're going to suffer a lot.
The voice was gone. A few seconds later, my father came up the stairs and into my room. A few seconds later, my mother and my aunt and my uncle came in.
Who's laughing now?
This time, no one doubted my story, as they all
I wonder why.
saw how someone tried to force my door open. When the police arrived, I listened as my father told them everything that had happened. At that moment, the psychopath not only took advantage of the fireworks to get in.
Why does this cop look like Ken from the B movie? 'Cause I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Oh wait, wrong movie. Is it my... 'Cause I'm just Sam. I'm not too different when off cam. Is it my destiny to live in a life of that reality?
But locked the door from the inside.
Dude, does the Giga Chat ability.
After hearing the story, the cops assumed that everything was planned for me to stay in the house with them. All he had to do was watch us and wait for the moment to strike. And that's exactly what happened. After that, I didn't leave the house for weeks. There was always someone with me, and the police were always around. One night in February, the police came to my house telling me that they had caught the man. He called himself the Grinch, and as he told me,
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Yo.
he was guilty of many disappearances of children.
Holy crap. The Grinch just... I mean, the Grinch might have hated Christmas, but I don't think. I don't think. I don't think it was like Jeffrey Dahmer in people in the Grinch lore. Then again, knowing what Dr. Seuss did, probably wouldn't be too far off.
Children my age, whose bodies turned up buried in his yard. The motive for the killings? He just wanted to make a name for himself, and thought there'd be.
Well, I believe this guy and the people who say, "Hey, subscribe to my channel," and YouTube comment sections would get along. The thing is, those people make names for themselves, but is it really worth it?
Be nothing more shocking than killing children. Nothing was the same from that day on. Many years later, I still go to the psychiatrist because of that man. Every time I sleep, I dream about what would have happened if I hadn't locked the door to my room. I dream of him hanging me as promised. I dream that I'm a boy.
Heaven from Home Alone. That's who that kid reminds me of. Storylines are kind of similar as well.
Again, he comes looking for me at my school. I dream that once again, I'm helpless. He may be condemned to life in prison, but at the same
Life? Not a nigga deserves a death sentence. Anything less than a death sentence, and I'm ready to throw hands.
time, he is still with me, and I feel that he always will be.
That was bone chilling. That was bone chilling. Guy was actually threatening. The guy was actually threatening. Felt fear. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. See if story 3 can
I'm
keep it
honestly
up.
not sure what I was thinking when I signed up for an anonymous Secret Santa program online. I was bored and lonely after a nasty breakup, and I desperately wanted someone to seek me out, to think of me. In retrospect, maybe I should have just tried online dating. Still, all I wanted was a gift.
Nah, that can't be any better. Or can it?
A single, heartwarming little bundle of joy. Gosh, even thinking that makes me roll my eyes. I've never been the sappy kind, but I just wanted to be cared for, just once in my life. Looks like that was far too much to ask for. I sighed, tapping the side of the small black box anxiously as I peered into it once more. Maybe it's contents would be replaced by something more favorable, more normal, perhaps. Maybe I was just going crazy, and the present I got was completely normal. No matter how many times I looked away and back, the contents of the box remained exactly the same. What the? Pictures of me from when I was still married to my ex right up until now. Some were very
You really gotta hate a lot in order to do this to them.
recent.
Just saying.
On one, I was decorating the Christmas tree in my cheesy pattern pajamas. But the thing was, something didn't quite add up. There were pictures where I knew there was no one in the house with me when they were taken.
Short answer, someone's stalking you.
A few where I was lounging on the couch, face tear-stained, hair messy, an awful sight, really. But there were photos where I was different. On some, I was smiling happily, staring nearly into the camera. On others, I was sleeping peacefully. I wanted to gag. Was this my mother pulling some wild prank on me? I'd fallen
Hopefully not.
out with her a few years ago, roughly when I divorced my ex. She felt like I'd given up on a comfortable life because I didn't want to stay with that jerk, because I shook my head. My ex was the past, and I really needed to start thinking about him.
Yeah. Yeah. And thing is, if you broke up with someone, then don't get too hung up on it. Like Uguay says, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift, which is why it's called the present. Whenever I have a bad day, I usually think of that, and it makes me feel better.
He wasn't the reason why I was so distressed at the moment, after all. Maybe it was him? Maybe he's trying to force me to run back to his open arms, terrified? I mumbled to myself mostly, some of my words slurred together. My thoughts felt jumbled and body heavy, though it was likely due to the sock still barely allowing me to think clearly. Pat has moved on from me ages ago. Heck, we divorced because he moved on while we were still
This dude look. Why does dude look like Momo?
together. Stupid cheater. But then, what was going on?
Stupid cheater. I'm sorry, but that has the same energy as.
I did not! Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled!
Yeah.
No letter came with the photos, though they were all dated. On most of them, the ink was a bit smudged, as if they'd been pocketed quickly. That didn't really give me any better idea of the photographer behind them, but it felt a bit odd.
What? Me reading a comment that makes absolutely no sense. Like one time on Reddit, just so you know, I don't use Reddit anymore. Oh, way better since I deleted it. I saw this comment that says, I dislike gay people. I'm not homophobic. And I was like, what the frick? I said something like that and had 48 down. So I was like, what? How the frick can you see? Lad is on to nothing.
Who are you kidding, girl? Whoever took these pictures is a lunatic, with or without the ink smudges. And yet, I felt just as crazy as I looked through them again and again, desperately trying to look for a signature, a name, or just anything. I found nothing. But then, it dawned on me. The website I'd signed up for was supposed to let me know where my present came from once I opened it. Ha! Looks like whoever they are, they won't stay anonymous for long. I'll just call the cops and... I said that...
That's basically me when someone walks. That's basically me whenever someone walks in on me trying to record videos. Then is right now. No one in my family knows it. Trying to beat on the YouTube. I plan to reveal that to them later on. Except that I want to be a YouTuber. Cool. But if they don't, then I don't know. Well, cross that bridge when we get to it.
Perhaps a touch too haughtily. Half of my sentence was caught in my throat, silenced by the familiar thud of the main door being closed. Of course, I was so busy trying to comprehend the situation that I'd forgotten one important detail. Whoever had taken these photos had acted.
Wait, what's that? Let's zoom in. Okay, let's look a little bit closer. Cool.
Access to my house.
I'll go Fortnite's fun.
After all, most of them looked like they'd been taken from inside.
Wait, I think I saw it again. It's in this picture. Look. No, wait, it's on the Succeedon.
The house. Sure, maybe they'd been standing outside on something, perhaps straight behind the windows in that one spot that never got dusty, but there had to be some angles they couldn't get from there. Who's there? My voice sounded a lot raspier, a lot more scared, suddenly. I stood up on shaky legs, bounding.
The thing is with the mask around him, kind of looks like the king.
Towards my bedroom's white wooden door to shut it before...
Hey, don't worry. It's just your Secret Santa.
A painfully familiar voice made me swallow hard.
Here's what you're supposed to do. Here's what you're supposed to do. Fondle their ass. Fondle their ass. Silly wabbit, tricks off with kids. You shall.
Silly wabbit, tricks are for kids.
You shall!
The delusion.
Pat. But why? It made sense, though. I don't think I ever asked him to give his key back when he left. My attorney urged
Ezra was just asking a question.
me to do so, to communicate with him, but I refused.
Good.
There was no way I could talk to him after all he'd done to me. After that, he abandoned me.
What did he do? What did he... Oh yeah, she said she cheated on him. Yeah. Yeah. If people just want to cheat, then they should just end the relationship. I mean, yeah, it would be sad, but eventually you get over it. You get over it. It's better than just sit. Hey, I don't think this is working out. Hey, I don't think this is working out. Maybe we should just go our separate ways. No hard feelings. It's better than just cheating on someone, because while breaking up and going our separate ways, that's like a pinch, but the thing is, when you find out that someone's cheating on you, it's a knife straight to the heart.
Me at my weakest. And yet...
Surprise!
The man whose voice I used to adore cheered. He sounded like he was much closer now.
Dude looks like the clown from It. Didn't know clown from It was 3-2 Christmas Horror Stories animated.
Now, sneaking up the stairs like the cat we used to have. The cat that he threw out on the streets because she was too loud.
There's a beautiful place called an animal shelter.
Your mother told me that you were lonely. She's been asking some friends of yours to keep an eye on you, and well, it's clear that you never quite bounced back. I felt guilty, so I'm here to make things right, honey.
This dude sounds like he would just... This dude sounds like the type of person to moan while taking a crap. No hate to the voice. Accurate. Hate the character, not the voice actor. That's what I always do. That's a motto that I always go by. And speaking of voice acting, voice actors in all the animations, they did a spot-on job.
Why did I almost believe him for a second there? I trembled, pushing against the wall. He knew where he'd find me, of course, so I knew hiding was useless, but I felt desperate for that upper hand just for a second. He'd taken so much from me before, and he was suddenly back, destroying the one nice thing I'd wanted to do so badly. My only wish. I shook my head. No, he wasn't gonna do it. I had to. I had to do something. A shaky...
No.
nearly got caught in my lungs when 3 quick knocks sounded on the bedroom door. It used to be familiar. It used to be our thing, just knocking on random surfaces to announce our arrivals or to get each other's attention. But it sounded threatening. It felt like if I allowed him in, something terrible would happen. I didn't realize I opened the window until I was standing in front of it, the merciless winter wind hitting me in the face every few seconds. It was so cold, and I was up quite high. But I didn't care. I wanted the one way out.
Wait, honey, you need to...
I stood in the window for a few seconds, crossing my fingers that I'd be fine.
No, don't do it. Do not low to your god. Do not low to your godders.
Just like the cat I'd loved once, I thought I would land on my feet, though the ground was covered in ice.
Wait, why does it sound like... Why does it sound like hitting the floor in Minecraft? Wow. That was an emotional roller coaster. I think I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10. So, overall, great anime. Great animation, great story, great antagonist. So, 10 out of 10. The videos and channels will be in the description. This one was from IMR Scary Tales. So, and that's it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out the other videos, subscribe to my channel, comment what your favorite part of the video was. Remember to keep your chins up, work hard, and believe in yourself. Remember to stay safe, stay slain. SamuraiVert out, and as always, peace. Roll the outro.